Hello everyone, and today I'm going to be making an amazing recipe for you guys. I know today in South Carolina it's like 95 degrees, hair's up, windows are down, air conditioning's on, and no, a lot of people may not feel like baking, but this is a recipe that you can keep in your recipe book for all seasons, and it's delicious. I'm actually making it for a friend's birthday tonight at the restaurant, so I think that she's really going to enjoy this. So I have all the recipes in front of me. I actually have a little cantaloupe here. This is not in the recipe. This is actually going to be for Pepe. So I'm going to put this away for him for a little bit. I see all you guys already, so I want to just say hello. But this is kind of, it's not a long recipe, but it's one that I want to get started for you guys. So, I always have to have my coffee here, but today is the perfect day to have coffee because of what we're making. Cannoli bundt cake is really, really good. That's all I can say. And I've made cannoli pie for you guys. I've showed you how to make cannoli. I've actually made cannolis for a seniors housing place. Hi guys, I see everybody already. Hi Joan and Gloria. Mandy, hello, how are you guys? I am happy to have you guys join me. So let's get started. I'm going to show you how to make this. Hi Cal, how are you? I'm going to show you how to make this really good cannoli bundt cake today. So of course I have my KitchenAid because it's going to do all the work for me. And as with any cake recipe, we're always going to cream our butter and sugar together. And we always try to use unsalted butter because why add the added salt to it? And I just feel it has a creamier, milder flavor. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put that in here. And I'm gonna go ahead and put it with my sugar. So I'm gonna put the recipe up afterwards. I'm gonna follow along right here. I have it. It took me forever to do this one because I actually made about 4 of these in 1 week now. Because I had to keep changing it and changing the baking powder and changing the salt until I finally figured it out. Okay, so in here we're putting 1 stick of unsalted butter, that's 8 tablespoons, and 1 cup of sugar. And we're gonna cream it up, and that's what you do, as the base for any cake. You have to cream your sugar and your butters together. And we're gonna just get that going. And then to that, we're gonna add, when that's done, we're gonna add 2 eggs. And I also took these out of the refrigerator and let them come to room temperature also. And then we're gonna add in a little bit of vanilla. And today I'm so excited. I sent away for and I got it. I'm using vanilla bean paste. And if you have never tried this, it is such an amazing smell. Like you open it and it's just like a gel of vanilla bean instead of like the liquid form. And it's very concentrated and it's very strong and it's delicious. So we're gonna be using that today. Okay, so I'm creaming up my butter and sugar here. And then, which is, once it gets going, you want to keep scraping down the sides, incorporate everything. And I find that in a KitchenAid, that bottom divot that's in there with the thing, it holds a lot of good ingredients down there. So, you want to scrape down and you want to get the bottom of the bowl also. So this is all creamed up. And we do this because we want that sugar to kind of get melted into the butter. It just makes everything mixed together smoother. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and let me use this, and I'm going to put my eggs in, and we're going to do one at a time. And you always just do it in a bowl in case you get a shell. And I'm using some eggs today from my friend Rhonda. Rhonda comes to the restaurant and she gives me homemade, like, fresh eggs from her chickens, and I love them. So I know I don't want to like waste them in a cake, but they're good and I want to use them up. Okay, so now this is all mixing up. And to this, like I said, we're going to add our vanilla. And we're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So we're going to just go right in here and add our vanilla. And if you've never had vanilla bean paste, this is it. It's just almost like a gel type. It's thicker than the liquid. It's very concentrated. You can see the little specks of vanilla bean in it. It's really good. I tried it in something else this week and it was really strong and I love it. Okay, so all this is mixing up really nice. And I'm just gonna stop my mixer for a minute and I'm going to incorporate this down. Scrape the sides because you know we kind of have butter up there, and I'm gonna get like that little divot on the bottom, like I said. So I did give this cake out to a few people this week, just as taste testers, and they loved it. I always try to give everything to my son-in-law Anthony because he has a sweet tooth like me, so he loves his cakes. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add ricotta cheese, and on here we have a half a cup of whole milk ricotta cheese that you get, you know, right in the stores. We're just gonna add that in. And now, as it mixes, it's going to start separating a little bit. But don't get worried. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. It kind of looks like curdled a little bit, but I'm telling you it's good. So we have that going, and then we're going to add to it 1 cup of milk. I had to make sure I had the right one, because we're also going to use it for our icing. So 1 cup of milk goes in here. And that was all-purpose flour, in case you were wondering, just regular flour that you have, you know, right there. And while that's mixing up, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do the dry ingredients. So I do mine a little bit different. Some people put it in a bowl, but I usually put it on wax paper or parchment paper. Today I just had like aluminum foil. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it on here because I'm going to show you a little secret and a little bit of better cleanup. So in this bowl I have 2 1/3 cup of the all-purpose flour. So I'm just gonna put this down, got it all out. And then we're going to add in 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Make sure, guys, you don't get these mixed up because it will truly make a huge difference in your cake. So this is the teaspoons. We're gonna put 2 teaspoons, 1 and 2, okay. And that's done. And then we're going to use a half a teaspoon of baking soda. Remember, the powder puffs now, so that's how we're going to get the rise in our cake, the nice light fluff. All right, that's baking soda. And then we're going to use a teaspoon of cinnamon. Now this is where the cannoli flavor comes in. If you've ever had a cannoli, you know it has that distinct cinnamon flavor. Sometimes they use like a little marsala in the shell. We're not going to use that today. We're using the cinnamon. If you wanted, you could put a little lemon peel in it or a little orange peel because cannolis always have like that dried citrus and candy flavor to it. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to kind of incorporate this one more time down the sides. We've got everything going in there now. Okay. Now we're going to, this is what I like to do. I just mix it right here on this aluminum foil. Mix all the ingredients together. I do this with everything. I do this with all different cakes, all different cookies, and then I make like a tunnel, and then I pour it in slowly, just like this. So we're incorporating the dry into the wet. And we have our mixer on slow because, you know, powder stuff in there. And that's it. We're done with the cleanup there. We have 1 bowl, the mixer. Okay. Clean this off. And we're just, I can smell the cinnamon and the vanilla and it just smells so spectacular. You know, I've had a cannoli cake. I make it for my daughter Abby for her birthday one time. We put the little cannolis on it with the cream between the layers. But then I love a bundt cake. I mean, bundt cake are the new and in thing. I think everyone brings it to the restaurant for a birthday now. There's a company that makes bundt cakes here, so everybody brings them. And they're amazing and delicious. So we're just gonna mix this up one more time. And now we're gonna slowly put in our chocolate chips. And I like the minis. I like the little tiny mini ones. We dip our cannolis on the end of them at the restaurant, you know, the ends of the cannoli into the mini chips, and it just looks so pretty. It's perfect. So I'm gonna go put in a cup of mini chips. And these are nice and light because they're not like the big chunks that sink to the bottom. These mini ones like that, they kind of hold their shape and they go perfectly, stay perfectly throughout the cake while it bakes. And that's it. It is done. It's completely done. So now I'm going to get my bundt cake. I already have my oven set to 350 because that's what it's going to be baking on. And it bakes for 1 hour precisely. So I went a little over yesterday. The day before was under. So today it's 1 hour. I'm telling you, it's great. So I have my bundt cake, my bundt pan here. And I'm going to try to turn, this is the one I made earlier. So I'm going to try to turn this out on here. You know, you get scared, you grease it, but you're just hoping for the best. And we're going to flip it. I felt it move, so I let it cool completely. And there it is. We have our bundt cake. All right, so now this, we would pour, I got to clean this out, but we would pour this mixture into here now, and we put it in a 350-degree oven for 1 hour. So now that we have this bundt cake, I'm going to show you how to make this amazing glaze for it. It's so good. I let this cool for at least a half an hour. So if you were to put the glaze on when it first comes out of the oven, it would just get all melty and fall all over. We want it to kind of stay on there. So I'm going to move my mixer, and I'm going to show you guys. I have all my ingredients. I have powdered sugar. I've got ricotta milk, and I've got cream cheese and a little of this. Okay, so in order to make a beautiful glaze for this, we're going to start off with 2 cups of powdered sugar. And I put it in this kind of container because I like the spout. So this way we can just pour it right on top of this bundt cake, and it's gonna just spill over the sides, and it's gonna look great. All right, so 2 cups of powdered sugar. And I'm just gonna take this again, and I'm gonna go through and break up, you know, any lumps that might be in here. If you wanted a really, really good glaze, really smooth, you know, you could put it through a sieve like that. Okay, into this, I'm going to add 4 ounces of, this is really soft room temperature cream cheese, because you can't mix anything with cold cream cheese. It just is terrible. I'm seeing all the people. Hello, Lisa. Hi, Janice. I see so many people on here today. I'm so happy you guys are gonna love this recipe. Okay, 4 ounces of cream cheese. This is 1/4 cup of ricotta cheese, and I'm gonna put that in there. And we also have to put in a teaspoon of the vanilla paste again. So this, it's bright white now and it's beautiful, but I'm going to use the vanilla paste, and it's gonna turn it a little bit of a tan color, but it's still delicious. Okay, so there's the vanilla in there. And now I'm gonna start mixing this around. And we're gonna get, we want it to be like a nice thick glaze. We don't want it to be really runny. We want it to be able to pour, but not be runny. So we're just mixing this in here. And to make it go a little bit smoother, we're gonna just add maybe a teaspoon at a time of milk. I'm sure you guys have made this glaze before. It's just a basic glaze that most people put on their bundt cakes. This is sticking in here. Let me just wipe this out a little bit more. All right, I don't have Pepe in here today. My husband is home. He actually changed jobs, so he works a midnight shift. So he got up early today, and he has Pepe outside, but he won't be outside long because it's 95 here today. So he doesn't like to stay out too long. Ooh, this is coming together, and I just put 1 of the tablespoons of milk in it, and you can see how beautiful this glaze is. So typically in the restaurant, when we make the cannoli cream, we use the ricotta cheese, and we do use a little vanilla, and then we use, I add a little mascarpone cream to it, and of course powdered sugar. So we put that on in the cannolis, and then we dip them with the chocolate chips, and it comes out great. You could use like crushed pistachio, you could put that on the top, candied fruit, that's very typical. Cannoli originated in Sicily, and so they have like the real beautiful creations over there. You could look at pictures of them. They're just insane, the cannolis over there. All right, this is all mixed up. I'm going to put just a tad bit more of milk in it because it's just a tiny bit, a little bit thick. I don't think it'll run out of here. I want it to the consistency where it's gonna run out of this. Here we go. And my arm is falling off. So I hope Pat is not watching today. She has her birthday tonight at the restaurant, and I think that she's really gonna love this cake. So as soon as I posted it, everybody wanted the recipe for it, and I promise you, I got it all done already. I am really prepared for this one. I'm just gonna go ahead and put the rest of this in. So you'll have to just play around, with the liquid, the milk part of it. So it did actually take the whole 2 tablespoons of milk here, because I want to pour this out all over. It's perfect. That's how you want it. Okay. Move my cake over. Hope everyone can see it. And then we're just going to start to pour. We're going to pour it over the top here, right on this ridge, so that it can fall down beautifully. I help it out a little bit with this spatula. I want this to look really pretty for her, so I'm going nice and slow, and it'll fall down. And I'm gonna try to get more in the inside. I don't know if you guys have seen those new cakes called Nothing Bundt cakes, but they're the newest rage, and everybody goes crazy over the icing. And I gotta say, it's delicious. So I'm just gonna put in a little bit where I would like some more to fall, because that's where it looks pretty. And here's some over here. All right, oh my goodness. It smells so good. It has all the ingredients that you would make a cannoli with. It's absolutely already gorgeous. Look at that. It's so good. Then I'm just gonna, on the top, just to make it look a little more authentic, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna drop some mini chips on here. Fill it all over the top. And then after I do this, I'm gonna put this cake in the refrigerator so it can set, especially in 95 degrees right now. It is horrible. And then for this, I'm just going to, let me get a teaspoon, or I can just use this. I'm just going to tap it with the powdered sugar, because this is also what you would typically put on a cannoli when you dress it at the restaurant. You dip it with the powdered sugar and the chips. And it just makes it look so pretty. So there we go, guys. Look at this amazing cake we made together in 2 seconds. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to put the one that we made together in the bundt cake pan. I have to clean it first. And then this is going in the refrigerator. And then I'm gonna have 2 cakes now. So we're gonna have a lot at the restaurant tonight, because I can't eat anymore. I really can't. So I just wanted to thank you for joining me today. I promise you I will post this up. I'm gonna sit right now with my coffee after I click off, and I'm gonna put the recipe up because I want you guys to make this. So have a good afternoon, a good weekend, and enjoy your cannoli cake.